NFL free agency has been pretty exciting so far. We had surprising signings, we had big trades. So in today's video, I'm going to be looking at my winners and losers. So let's hop into it. We're going to start it off by looking at some of my biggest winners, and my first one might be a little controversial, and that's the New England Patriots. For a lot of Patriots fans, it's going to be weird or even sad to see your franchise quarterback over the last 20 years, an arguable GOAT, put on a different jersey, but it was the right move for that team. They didn't have the success they hoped for last season, and given Tom Brady's age, it's the right time for this team to look at the next era of their franchise. I also think they made the right decision by not scrambling to sign another free agent quarterback. Now, as I'm recording this, it does seem that Jarrett Stidham will be the starter next season. There's been a lot of rumors that the Patriots are very confident in him, and personally, as an Auburn fan, I'm excited to see what he can do. The Patriots are going into the next era, and it's going to be interesting to see how they approach it. Will they try to build from the ground up and put themselves in position to land top picks in the next couple years, or will they try to hold onto their streak of success? Regardless, I think the Patriots set themselves up much better for the future this free agency so far. The next winner I have, you already knew was going to be in the video, and that's the Arizona Cardinals. While the Cardinals didn't have a great season, they showed a lot of promise going into the future, especially with their Kyler Murray-led offense. Christian Kirk had somewhat of a breakout year. They still have Larry Fitzgerald, and it looked like they might go after another receiver in the draft. Instead, they got an absolutely massive steal, getting future Hall of Famer in his prime, DeAndre Hopkins, for the price of David Johnson, who at this point is basically just a bad contract, a second-round pick, and they swapped fourth-rounders. Absolutely mind-boggling. I really believe in the Cardinals' offense for next season. Before this trade even happened, I was hoping to get Kyler Murray in most of my fantasy football drafts for next season. It's going to be really interesting to see how this affects their first-round selection in the upcoming draft. Next, we've got Tampa Bay. While I'm not very confident in how much Tom Brady has left, they still have to be considered a winner. First of all, they won the decision with a comparable offer coming Brady's way from the Chargers. They are flat out gonna have more interest in ticket sales next season, and they signed a 6-time Super Bowl champion quarterback. This team had its ups and downs on offense last year, led by 30-30 Jameis Winston. At the very least, the Bucs are now getting a better decision maker and proven winner. They have the weapons for there not to be any excuses for Brady, and with it being just a 2-year deal, the risk is relatively low. I don't think they're going to be some unstoppable defense that some might predict, but they got better and were also able to retain their top free agent Shaquille Barrett. Next, we've got the Browns. They didn't make any flashy moves, but made some that are really going to have a big impact. They couldn't hold on to Joe Schobert, but that was going to be hard in the first place with the money he was expected and ended up getting. This offensive line really struggled for them last season. It was the main reason that the offense wasn't nearly as lethal as we expected going into the year. This offseason, they signed offensive tackle Jake Conklin to a 3-year deal to fill a much-needed hole, and also signed breakout tight end Austin Hooper. Now, I'm not sure Hooper was worth that insane price, but with his ability to make an impact in both the passing and running game, I like the addition. If the Browns continue to upgrade their offensive line in the draft, we could see the offense we were expecting just a year late. Next, we've got the Bears. They finally decided that Mitchell Trubisky is not going to be their guy going into the future. It's a tough pill to swallow, realizing that you gave up an arm and a leg to trade up in the draft and take Trubisky before the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. But they have finally realized that in trading for Nick Foles. I don't think Foles is a guy that's going to make this offense even close to elite, but it is for sure an upgrade. Which leads us to our last winner, Gardner Minshew. With Foles out, this clears the way for one of the biggest surprises last season. Gardner Minshew was a 6th-round pick, and now he's become a fan favorite. Personally, he was one of my favorite rookies, and I really believe he can be this team's franchise quarterback, and for now, they're getting him at a very good price. Now going to the losers, we've got to start it off with the Houston Texans. I mean, there is no excuse for this. Absolutely terrible. Not just that DeAndre Hopkins was traded away. There was clearly some kind of negotiation problem, but he still had 3 years left on his deal, so to give him up for practically a 2nd-round pick is just laughable. Just seeing what other teams were able to get for wide receivers, such as Stephon Diggs now going to the Bills, this is absolutely ridiculous. This was their young star quarterback Deshaun Watson's #1 option. Now the future of this team looks up in the air, especially in the hands of Bill O'Brien. This is following their midseason Clowney trade. If I'm a Texans fan right now, I am very, very angry. Next, we have to have Todd Gurley on here. He was the best running back in the league, winning fantasy football titles for millions. Now, he's been waived and is signing a one-year deal with the Falcons. This is just the perfect example of the risk when taking running backs with top picks or signing them to crazy contracts. I really hope, though, that he can turn things around. We've also got to put Jameis Winston on here. After a season where he felt he was quote-unquote balling, he expected a big payday from the Buccaneers, but with him having the opportunity to bring in Tom Brady, he's put in a tough situation where it's going to be hard to get that big payday he expected. Most teams that were on the hunt for quarterbacks addressed that position already. Now, I like to make fun of 30 and 30 Winston. I actually believe he has the talent to be a top quarterback in the league. The last loser of the video is going to be Cam Newton. Just a couple years ago, he led the Panthers to the Super Bowl as the MVP of the league, and now, really due to injury, the Panthers have moved on in favor of Teddy Bridgewater. Reportedly, the Panthers treated the situation as if they were, quote-unquote, letting Cam Newton explore a trade, but then Newton clarified that they were basically forcing him out of Carolina. Pretty sad situation for the former MVP. I still believe in Cam Newton a lot, and I think on the right team, I really liked him going to Bears. That doesn't seem to be the case with Foles there, but whatever team takes him, I think there's a decent shot to being a franchise quarterback. But that's the video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and peace.